It is the weekend, guys. However, Bitcoin never sleeps, hence why I'm going to mention and reiterate the best and the closest ideas to short and also long Bitcoin, and why exactly I think there's a high likelihood of Bitcoin, as I said yesterday, of going lower. I think the 102 to $97,000 are the most and the highest critical areas of interest in terms of longing. So let's get right into the TA. Yesterday, I literally told you guys that Bitcoin has the possibility, has the chance of lower prices, because I told you on the lower time frame Bitcoin just lost the point of control. I told you that we are still within this boring range. Ever since we had actually made this strong wick at 102, Bitcoin started actually consolidating within a range. As you can see here, basically we had this wick, the beginning of the range, and then we made this high, and technically right now we had taken liquidity from the upside, and also we have lost the point of control, which is the midway point of this total consolidation basically over here. So I think that definitely there is a likelihood, since we had taken the liquidity from the upper side, there's a likelihood and chance of us going down, not only to fill down the wick. I told you there's a high likelihood of going back to fill down the wick, but also because I told you ever since we had taken liquidity from the upside, now there's a likelihood of us revisiting the lower side. I told you that 102 to $97,000 are the best opportunities to buy. However, even though the thumbnail and title are very bearish, I'd never actually, guys, tell you to randomly short the market. Even though we had dropped from 116 to the current price action at 110, I'd never tell you to randomly short. Hence why I'm going to reiterate and tell you again where's the best area to short and why I think there's a little scalp idea before going much lower on Bitcoin. If I go now to the lower time frame and still have this volume profile intact, basically I took this reading, this analysis of the volume profile since we had started actually ranging within this consolidation. If I go now to the 30-minute time frame, we can clearly see that we have got a confluence for an idea to short the market as a larger swing trade, and also a little scalp long on the lower time frames. If you are interested in scalping Bitcoin, day trading Bitcoin, this is all what my channel is about. If you want to support me and also sub to the channel, make sure to subscribe, because every single day I'm trying to post a video, every single day, and possibly even starting doing a couple of live streams. As I told you guys, this is a new channel. I already got my Arabic established channel where I do actually go live every single day. So if you want me to actually start going live on this English channel, please comment down below. And also I've got the best 50% deposit bonus exclusive offer on weeks if you want to start trading with no KYC and also with the lowest fees. I always got my first link as weeks, the place where I actually day trade every single day. Now let me actually break down the long and the short trade that you must always pay attention to, especially now on Saturday and Sunday. We can actually have a random dump or pump, so pay attention and be ready for these trades. Never set a limit order. Do not put limit orders where I'm going to tell you, or the setups I'm going to tell you or give it to you, but always put alerts. So I've got alerts now, and I'm going to break down the best trades to actually get on Bitcoin once we go up or down. As I told you guys, I always like to look for a short if we are faking out to the high and pumping, and I always look down for a long. I look for a long when the price is dumping. Hence why on the lower time frame, the closest idea for a short, as I told you guys yesterday, if we go from the current price action, we go above to 111.2, we hit the point of control, retest this whole zone of resistance, and then we fail to break it. For example, we hit 111.6, and then only if we see a fall back down, as you can see here, we fall back down to 110.5, then I would class what happened on the upside as a fake out, where we got longs being stuck at the top, getting liquidated, and then we see an actual drop. So even though I wouldn't actually randomly short, because I told you guys, even though technically now that we have taken liquidity from the upside, we can actually go to the lower side and do the opposite and still range within this range, I'm not going to randomly short. So maybe the idea to short and then take it to 102 is us pumping to the upside, managing or actually retesting 111, 112, and then a fail to break, move back down to 110, 110.5. This would mean actually getting into a short. That's the only short I'm interested in, because there's always a chance of Bitcoin not giving me the drop to 102, and rather we actually see 112 being reclaimed, and the idea to go lower would be cancelled, and then we won't be actually getting into a long or a short. We're gonna be watching the price go higher. So if you see a break out of 112, do not be thinking about a long, but be always waiting and cautious of possibly getting a fake out and then lower for a possible short. This is the only trade I'm interested in terms of shorting. And in terms of longing, if you want a long, I told you guys, I always look for a dump before a long. So even though I've still got my largest area of longing interest at 102 to 197, I got the lower time frame idea at 108 and 107. Here we got the high volume area. Basically, we can clearly see that we've got higher than average volume here. And also we've got the Fibonacci golden pocket literally setting from the low to the current local top. We can clearly see it as confluence with the high volume area. And also we've got the NPOC at 107.3, and lastly the value area low of this little range we've spoken about. So if you want to start taking trades, especially if you have actually made an account over on weeks, the only trades I want to be actually taking for Saturday and Sunday is a possible short on the upside and a possible long on the lower side, even though this would be actually just a scalp long, because I'd be actually preferring much lower to possibly 102 or 97. So this is the largest idea. But in case we don't get this, I'm also planning to get a little scalp idea at 108, 107.5, and the best short is a fake out of the high. Thanks for watching, guys.